Coming up on Campus Connection, closures, cancellations, testing. The coronavirus is changing the way Americans interact. And voting, nationally and on campus. We'll tell you how the Latino vote may play a big role this year. Also, so much changing in sports. Not just at Long Beach State, but some of the biggest sporting events are canceled. Welcome to Campus Connection. Our show is coming to you a little differently for this broadcast. In-person classes at Long Beach State have temporarily suspended. This means we, broadcast journalism students, have put our newscast together remotely. Let's get you caught up on the latest. The COVID-19 coronavirus is causing a lot of disruption worldwide, in the country and here at Long Beach State. The university canceled face-to-face classes until March 17th and moved all classes online through April 20th. For the most part, students are staying away and waiting for the instructions from professors. Just a few students could be seen on campus over the last few days. Many not sure how they'll move forward.
I am taking an intermediate directing class, and you can't direct anybody online. So that is a little interesting.
I honestly feel like it was necessary, but I feel like the action, basically that drove it, was kind of a little preempted by the students.
Meanwhile, stores across the county are seeing long lines and empty shelves as many prepare to stay home. Arkina's Sonny Kangia checked out one of the biggest warehouse stores.
The World Health Organization has now declared a global pandemic on the COVID-19 coronavirus. Heightening fears of COVID-19 has caused an impulse buying epidemic amongst consumers. This Costco even has a line just to get inside the store.
Many Costcos, like the one we're at today in Lakewood, have been setting certain product purchase limitations as they've been struggling to keep in stock of essentials like water, rice, and toilet paper.
Yeah, I will have to go to 2 or 3 stores just to find a jug of water to take me to go to the gym, honestly.
Every brand, yeah, including theirs. They didn't have toilet paper, they didn't have the hand wipes.
Costco has been passing out sanitation wipes and controlling overcrowding in stores to help keep shoppers safe during this latest pandemic. Reporting for Campus Connection, Kina Sonakingchia.
This is Ashley Havalosa. The president is extending the travel ban to include the United Kingdom and Ireland. President Trump issued a travel ban from 26 European countries. This, as already the airlines saw people canceling flights. The ban only applies to foreign nationals. U.S. citizens currently in Europe will be able to return home. Trump says that this ban will last 30 days, but has the possibility of being extended.
As someone who was supposed to travel to London in the coming week, I was disappointed by it.
Meanwhile, several airline carriers say planes are getting a scrub down with heavy-duty cleaning tools to prevent the spread of the virus. The CDC is advising people to avoid non-essential air travel. Meanwhile, the cruise lines agreed to suspend cruise travel for 30 days. The city of Long Beach has confirmed several cases of people with COVID-19. 2 of the positive cases had just returned from a cruise ship on the Nile River. Although people have had to cancel some plans, they'd rather be safe than sorry.
While it may not be the most personally fitting thing to go on right now, I do think, if it benefits people as a whole, then, that's fine.
As more information comes in about the new virus, the CDC advises you to stay home as much as possible to reduce your risk of being exposed. Ashley Havalosa, Campus Connection.
Attempt to minimize the coronavirus outbreak, Governor Gavin Newsom and other politicians currently are urging citizens to practice social distancing, having them stay indoors, therefore shrinking the chances of getting sick. In mine, I decided to report from home, where I will be giving some ideas as to what you can be doing as the outbreak continues. With the pandemic affecting so many lives and people needing to adjust, it's best to take your time reading books, playing video games, or even watching television. The Center for Disease Control has made it clear that if people go out less, there will be less contractions of the coronavirus, therefore making it easier for people to go to hospitals and get the treatment that they need. President Conley in an email had told faculty to work remotely for the next couple of days as the coronavirus not only spreads through California but also the entire United States. So, staff and faculty are currently using the app Zoom to communicate to one another as they try to adapt to this online style of learning because of what the coronavirus has caused for the entire campus. Reporting for Campus Connection, I am Manny Valladares.
We'll recap the information you need to know about the coronavirus at the end of the newscast. But first, there are other news to report. University police are looking for 2 men who robbed a student on Thursday. It happened on the 3rd floor of the Pyramid parking structure on campus. Police say the suspects approached the student and demanded money. One of the men had a gun at his side. The student handed over his belongings and the suspects took off.
The victim used one of the emergency phones to call us, but we also received a call from another person, a female, that reported that the victim had ran up to her and said that he had just been robbed.
The suspects are described as 2 black males in their mid-20s. The suspect vehicle is a black sedan with unknown make and model. There is no license plate information at this time. If you have any information, call University Police. It's an election year, and as the candidates continue their race to the White House, some are looking for the importance of the Latino vote. Esmeralda Perez interviewed students and staff here at Long Beach State. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Latinos are expected to be the largest minority group participating in the upcoming election. Factors that the Latino community consider when voting are age, education, and their family's immigration history.
I think it's so important for Latinos to participate in this year's election because as a community we have to have our voices be heard by politicians, people in the government, and try to appeal to the concerns that affects us as a Latino community.
There has been what many call the Latino explosion. Latinos are the fastest voting group. In fact, they are expected to have a big impact on the next election.
It's important for Latinos to vote because a lot of us and a lot of our parents and grandparents, we come from countries where our governments are corrupt, we don't have a lot of say in them, and we come here and we bring our cultural values and things that we love, and we have to preserve them here because back in our own countries, unfortunately, we're not represented.
Professor Alfredo Carlos explains how more Latinos can get out to the polls.
We need to make Election Day a national holiday, and so I think we need to make voting more accessible. We need to actually open up more voting centers, and we also need to do more community engagement to teach people about why it's important to vote. And I think our Latino elected officials need to do a better job sort of turning out the vote.
Political candidates will have to win the Latino vote since it's the most influential voting bloc. Reporting for Campus Connection, Esmeralda Perez.
I was able to talk to students and candidates regarding this year's ASI elections. Let's take a closer look into the event and see what Coffee with Candidates was all about. Competition arises as ASI candidates are promising more than ever to get students' votes. Before the official vote, students were offered a fun way of meeting this year's candidates.
Like something like this, even making students aware of like that they can vote for people like this who are going to speak up for their needs is like super important.
Students gathered inside the USU ballroom where they were given snacks, refreshments, and a few giveaways, alongside getting the opportunity to learn about each candidate's platform and goals. As ASI elections are just around the corner, students come to Coffee with Candidates to get to learn more about this year's executives. ASI has 2 candidates running for president, Soteli Ortiz in wanting to enhance student resources and advocate for those of color, and Omar Gonzalez bringing awareness to mental health due to the lack of college affordability and food insecurities. Both represent 2 different ideas, but one common goal, helping students at the beach.
To advocate for the communities, undocumented students, LGBTQ students, students of color, and I just want to make sure that their needs are being placed throughout the campus.
As student needs are being a priority, these candidates are making a huge impression on every individual. Election dates are from March 16th through March 18th. It's almost that time. Check your CSULB email for the link and more information.
Coming up next, the coronavirus is causing a lot of changes in the world of sports. Stay with us.
Maria, so how's work?
It was 4th period biology. Our students just weren't getting how easily viruses spread. So Miss Bell and I had them role play a zombie virus outbreak. By the time they had all learned the lesson, all the living were dead. Hey, how's your job going?
That big sales meeting I planned? Next year, I might get to go.
Cool. 150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
This week on Entertainment News, we have some exciting surprises. Let's check it out. NBA player Dwayne Wade shared a few photos of his daughter Zaya, dressed for her first ever red carpet appearance at the 6th Annual Truth Awards. It was hosted by Better Brothers LA, an organization dedicated to helping and creating safe places for Black LGBTQ people. On one of his posts, Wade took a moment to let the world meet his daughter once again. This time, on her own terms. Wade wrote, "Everyone allow her to reintroduce herself. Her name is Zaya Wade." Katy Perry drops a bombshell in her new music video, Never Worn White, by announcing her pregnancy. The soon-to-be mom is expecting her first child with her fiancé, Orlando Bloom. She uploaded snippets of her music video on Instagram. 2 days later after the announcement, Katy Perry uploads a picture showing her baby bump. All right, that is all we have this week for Entertainment News. Back to you.
Now let's send it over to Dylan Hulse for more on Long Beach sports and how the events have been affected by COVID-19.
There's been a lot of action in Long Beach sports this week. The Dirtbags won their series against Xavier last weekend at Blair Field, moving up the rankings to number 12 in the nation. Men's volleyball defeated Lindenwood in straight sets last Friday at home, led by 11 kills by sophomore Spencer Olivier. It'll be a battle between number 4 and number 3 Thursday night at the Pyramid when the Beach takes on UC Santa Barbara.
Women's basketball faced UC Davis Saturday at home in the team's final game of the regular season. It was a back-and-forth affair through most of the game, which saw the ladies rely heavily on their defense to disrupt the conference-leading Aggies. Junior guard Shanasia Davison stood out offensively, scoring 13 on 5 field goals, and redshirt sophomore guard Makai Berry added 12 points of her own to go along with 3 rebounds. The Beach's defense finally wore down the Aggies in the fourth, as Long Beach scored 26 to UC Davis's 9. Senior Sydney Kinslow shined on senior day in her last regular season game at the Pyramid. She had 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 steals, as Long Beach took the win 66-57.
Following 2 straight wins last week to round out the regular season, the Long Beach State women's basketball team's season officially came to a close Tuesday night with a loss to the Cal Poly Mustangs in the first round of the Big West tournament. Now, as you can see behind me, Walter Pyramid remains largely empty here in the second night of the Big West tournament. That's because the Big West Conference announced on Tuesday, just hours before the first round games were scheduled to start, that the rest of the tournament would be played without spectators due to the growing concern over COVID-19. Coach Jeff Kamen and sophomore guard Justina King said during their post-game press conference that the atmosphere was definitely weird during the game. However, they didn't believe that it had any impact in their team's performance on the court. This is Dylan Hulse, Campus Connection News.
Thanks, Dylan. To recap on the latest events taking place over concerns of the coronavirus, the remaining men's and women's Big West tournament games canceled along with the men's volleyball match, which was scheduled for Thursday night. Most professional and collegiate sports leagues have canceled or suspended their seasons. On campus, classes are canceled and will resume online this Wednesday until April 20th. A lot is changing. Until next time, thanks for joining us.